Hey, Mr. Groomes, this is Gene Liu. A bunch of us that used to run for you or had you as students, or both, got together and did a video montage for you and pulled from my library, as well as some of the others, their libraries of pictures from back in the day, and we created this compilation for you. So sit back, enjoy, and hope to talk to you soon.
Hi, Warren. I'm Sharon Davis, formerly Sharon Nero. You probably don't remember me because I was not a runner like most of the people on this video. I held a clipboard and a stopwatch as a manager because I had scoliosis and I wore one of those big Milwaukee back braces with the metal thing around my neck all throughout high school. I have many fond memories and I learned many lessons from watching you. So here it goes. Number one, the cross-country courses that you ran were never pancake flat. It had its ups and downs, just like life. When you ran uphill, that's where you built your strength. And I bet the best views came after the hardest climb. At the top, you needed a few minutes to breathe and recover before the controlled downhill stride. Warren, I want you to crush the hills that are ahead of you. Lean into them. Run right toward your biggest mountains, just like David ran toward Goliath with the name of the Lord Almighty, and claim your victory over the giant before you. This battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. Psalm 46:1 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. So let nothing trouble you. Let nothing frighten you. This too shall pass. God never changes. He is large and in charge. Number two, keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't look at your feet. Don't look down or focus on every reason why things are horrible. Look at the horizon. Focus on something just off in the distance and get to that point. The most difficult roads lead to the most beautiful destinations. Focus on the end goal. Finishing your race. Clip off each little goal along the way. Warren, I remember I used to yell out your splits. That's the time it took you to run a certain distance, typically a mile mark. So you'd know if you needed to speed up or slow down to hit your PR or PB, your personal record or personal best. Warren, today I'm yelling at you. Keep going. Don't quit. Finish your race. Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. Go for the goal. Hebrews 12:1 says, run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Warren, there is a reward in the end. James 1:12 says, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Warren, you are loved by all your friends at Springbrook High School, including me. What's that movie say? You is smart, you is kind, you is important. But seriously though, you are wonderfully made. You are beautiful. You are a masterpiece. God has a great plan for you, plans to help you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. So trust in the Lord. Bye.
Hello, Coach. Keith Usher here. It's great to share with you this morning what a difference you've made in my life growing up within Springbrook High School and also within Transfiguration Church, since we went to that same church together. I can't tell you how many good memories I have of the cross-country season, of the 24-hour marathon, for the talks before and after practices, before and after meets, on the bus to the meets. What a great time we had with that group of folks at Springbrook High School, and that particular time frame with you as a coach. I remember a lot of times we had fun at your house at your expense, TP in your house, and I appreciate the fun we had. And now as an adult, I also understand what a hassle that was for you to clean up afterward. But you took it all a good stride, made it a lot of fun, and we have a very large group of us that have very fond memories of that time and you as a coach. And just want to let you know how much we appreciate that and what a difference it's made in our lives, what a difference it's made in my life. And thank you very much for that time. Good to talk to you. Take care.
Hi, Mr. Groomes. It's Kelly. I just wanted to let you know some of my favorite times in high school. You were my favorite teacher. My math teacher teaching me algebra, which I had a hard time getting, but you always gave me encouragement for that, and I'm grateful to you for that. I also you were also my cross-country coach, and I had so many good times with you, being my mentor in cross-country. A few of my good favorite memories was we did the 100-mile relay, and us girls, and we broke the world record we went to New York and broke the world record for running our fastest mile. So that was really exciting thing that we did. And I remember the gang toilet papering your house. You all were always so kind to us, even though we toilet papered your house. I remember the all-night relays that we had. I remember winning state. Did we win state? I think we won state one time. We got close to winning state. And I remember singing in the bus, we are the champions, my friends. And those are some of my favorite memories with you. I want to dedicate a song to you because I'm all about songs. And my song to you is To Sir With Love by, I think it's Lila or Lola, or I don't know her name. But look up for To Sir For Love and listen to that song. And that is my song dedication to you as my teacher. God bless you, and thank you so much for having such an important impact in my life. My daughter's a teacher, and I told her what a wonderful impact that teachers have in your life and what an impact you had in my life. So anyway, I will, I wish you the best, and God bless you.
Hey Coach Groomes, it's Bill Kovac. I know I've told you on numerous occasions just how appreciative I am for everything you did for me as a coach, a mentor, and a friend. But what I haven't told you is that every time I go to a class reunion and speak to one of our teammates, and we have a very active class reunion program thanks to Gene and a few others, that every one of those teammates expresses the same level of appreciation for everything that you've done for them. You always struck the right balance between competition, mentorship, life lessons, and keeping it fun. You were always there for us, cheering us on as we competed on our field of battle, the cross-country course. Now it's our turn to cheer you on your personal field of battle. We are thinking of you, we are praying for you, each in our own way, and we love you. Fight the good fight, Coach, and thanks once again for everything that you've done for all of us. Love you.
Hello, Coach Groomes. Mike Woolsey, class of 1980. Greetings from the Philippines. I wish there was a way to meet in person. It's been a while, but it's great to connect anyway. So yeah, Springbrook Cross Country, 1978, 1979. You may not remember too much about those teams. Maybe in Springbrook Cross Country history that might be historically bad, but I remember those teams really well. It wasn't easy losing to the Churchills, the Whitmans, the Northwoods, week in and week out, getting shut out. It was really rough, but I tell you, one big takeaway from those years something he really emphasized with me and the others is the importance of sticking at it, of not quitting. That if you keep at it over time, things will work out. For me, I went on to the University of Delaware and continued running. Did pretty well. I got the school record in the 3 mile, 14:01. Had a 20-year career in the foreign service. A lot of hard languages in China, Japan. A lot of tough negotiations with tough partners, tough negotiating partners like the Chinese. And every step of the way, when you're staring at the abyss, facing big challenges, focusing on the long run and not getting cut down by setbacks. Things that you emphasize with us, it really helped me to this day. So after retiring from the Foreign Service, I'm doing a little bit of real estate development, and I'm building a resort in the Philippines on the ocean on an island called Siargao. It's the surfing capital of the Philippines. See a surfer there. And once again, the focus on the long run and not getting cut down by little setbacks has been really important. If you're feeling better next year, sure love to have you out here. We'll have a special chair and some umbrella drinks for you when you arrive. Anyway, it's great to deliver greetings. Hope you're feeling better soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, Mr. Groomes. This is Ellen Black, formerly Ellen Miller, wishing you well. It's so funny. I don't even remember if I had you as a teacher way back when. I believe I had you as a homeroom teacher, and you might have passed some notes to boyfriends for me, which was very kind. But I do remember you being as very kind and accepting and funny. And I hope that your humor thrives through your challenges right now. It'll help you through. Thinking about you a lot and wishing you well. Bye.
Warren, this is Michael McGrath, and just want to make this video. We've been lucky that we've been in touch over the years, including some great phone conversations we had this past winter and a letter I wrote to you of appreciation. So I don't want to just rehash that, but add something a little bit more original. One thing I want to say is that you were definitely way ahead, decades ahead of your time with the training methods that you taught us, hard, easy principles, thinking about your heart rate, your recovery time, your pace, just getting into miles in the summer rather than just running hard all the time. That was the technical stuff. The other stuff where you were years ahead of your time was how to treat the athletes and the students that volunteered for the success of the program. Your knowledge that everybody, regardless of whether they were the #1 runner on the team or just somebody that struggled to finish every race, or somebody that helped hold the sweats, or somebody on a training staff, everybody has a role. Everybody's important. You didn't play favorites. You were a great teacher of the sport. You didn't just tell us what to do. You told us why, and you taught us how to do it ourselves, which was amazing because you didn't have a background as a competitive runner, yet of those coaches who had been competitive runners, you were way ahead of a lot of them because you were keeping up with the very new things in the sport that everybody was learning. I'd say for myself, considering my own immaturity and lack of confidence in myself in those days, you were probably the only coach that could have been successful with me. I remember my first time trial. We had probably in early September in 1975. I was 18th place. I thought, well, I'll do better the next time. And we had another time trial a week later, and this is on that old course where we had to climb the triple hill. Well, I was 18th place again, but then my first real race was the novice meet down at Lake Needwood, and I was actually ninth place against some very good novices, because a novice was anybody that hadn't actually raced in high school before. So that included Bill Kovac, Bill Yacht, Rich Coffin from Churchill, and I finished ninth in that race, and I just kept improving the rest of the season after that. And you were the one that told me when I was ready to quit that, maybe you ought to give this a little bit more of a chance. But despite that early improvement, I was definitely one of the most challenging and frustrating runners you ever coached. And you know that, and I know that. And probably all of my teammates know that. But I ultimately did get my act together, and I did have more success. Well, I had success at the end of high school, but then I had more success in college and after that, and kept right on competing at a pretty high level right through 2010. And that was just as you intended, because you were always saying to us that you wanted us to be to still be running 10 years after we left the program. And through the decades that I continued in the sport, running, coaching for 4 years at Harvard College, mentoring athletes, advising athletes, I still organize a Saturday run, despite the fact that I'm not physically able to run with them anymore. I've incorporated many of the things that you taught all of us back in the 1970s, having confidence in yourself, looking at things analytically. Off the field, the living room of 811 Tanley Road was a familiar place to most of us, usually with you and Judy, either one or the other or both, listening to our problems and offering caring advice. This didn't happen too often, but I can remember at least once on a very hot early season run, stopping at 811 Tanley Road, and Judy had water waiting for us. It's not a coincidence that the combined boys and girls cross-country team at Springbrook was close to 40 runners. You both made the cross-country team the place to be. I tell my friends today about stuff like the 24-hour relay, the ultimate team bonding experience. They listen to these stories with some envy that their experiences couldn't match mine. And you often said that coaching our group were the best years of your Springbrook coaching career. They were ours too, Warren. Ours too. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon and wishing you the best in this fight. You have a lot of people thinking about you and rooting for you, even those who are a little bit camera shy. Okay? Good luck. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Hi, Professor Groomes. I know it's Warren, but I can't help myself. It's Peter Anslin, Geometry Savant and Hair Club President. I understand that you're to be honored with a series of videos, and honored you should be. You are a great teacher, coach, and mentor. You've had a great impact on my life. I can still hear the calm voice of reason ringing in my ears, sometimes in a long drawn out yes. That signals me I'm missing something. Embarrassingly enough, it's usually something pretty obvious. I was a troublesome guy that slept through your class but still aced your tests. You kind of saw beyond that, and you challenged me to do better. Geometry was and still is a breeze for me. You called me out, set me on independent study, and it killed the year in record time. That sort of encouragement is really rare in today's world, and trust. Thank you. I also understand that you're wrestling with some serious medical issues and that these videos are not going to be shared with others, so I'll take a few liberties with you and on your behalf. I pray for the hands and minds of those treating you that this would be their best work ever. I pray that you would have some of the same confidence that you instilled on myself and countless others over the years. We can't choose our environment, only how we respond to it. In cross-country parlance, life is a long race that you've already won by how you've participated and responded to it. Moving the finish line by a few months, years, or decades won't change how you've run. You've run well, and you're a great runner. Finally, I pray that you would fully enjoy the peace of God, now and forevermore. God bless you, Warren.
Mr. Groomes was not your typical teacher. at least for me. Most of our teachers come into our lives playing a significant part for a year or maybe 2 at most, maybe 3. Mr. Groomes actually was a huge part of my life my entire adolescence. I knew of him from church. I knew of him from school, starting in certainly about 7th grade. We actually sort of tracked one another in school, such that when I went from junior high to high school, that was about the time, I believe, Mr. Groomes went from White Oak Junior High to Springbrook High School. So he essentially was in the school with me for about 6 years. I don't recall ever actually taking a math class from him, but he was always a presence. He was there in the hallway, he was there in the cafeteria. I'm not saying he was lurking about, but he was a presence in the lives of so many students. He knew about us. It was almost a little eerie. And the interesting thing to me is that as much as he was a presence in all these facets of my life, such that in high school, I recall there were times in the fall when we were running cross country where I was with Mr. Groomes 7 days a week. I mean, I saw him 5 days out of the week at school, usually at cross country practice after school, certainly on Saturday at the meets, and then on Sunday at church. He was in charge of the acolytes. I was one of the acolytes. So I saw him at all these things, and he was just an incredible presence. Such a great presence that when I went up to become an Eagle Scout, and we had a court of honor, and the scout was told that you can pick any adult you want and ask him or her to speak about you at the ceremony, I immediately chose Mr. Groomes. I knew that he knew about me, that he could talk about me, that he would do it with his usual aplomb, he would do it with some humor, he would do it with a little bit of good-natured ribbing, and there would be certain kind of nice touches and prodding and the teaching element that I was already beginning to treasure. And then the other thing that strikes me, which is a little bit unusual, I think, is that my other most favorite memory of Mr. Groomes is that I didn't find out about this till towards the very end of high school. I found out, and I never saw it myself, but I found out that he did an incredible impersonation, apparently, of me. And he shared this impersonation with my older brothers, shared them with other people. I never saw it. I am sure it was excellent. And you would think you might be a little bit annoyed or upset that this teacher was able to imitate you so well. But it turns out, the more I thought about it, even at a young age, even as I was leaving high school and I'd never seen this, I thought that's actually kind of a compliment. And it's a compliment really of Dr. Groomes, because Mr. Groomes, because it shows how much he could, in effect, imitate a student, encapsulate what was so important about that student. And it revealed so much about Mr. Groomes. What I love when I think about that is I know that that was not unusual. I am sure that he did that for many a student in his own humorous, loving, instructive way, in a way that nobody but Mr. Groomes could accomplish. So, best of wishes, get well soon, Mr. Groomes.
Hi, Mr. Groomes. How are you doing? This is Rich Melnick, and I hope you're doing well. I understand that you've had some recent health issues, and I wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you and wishing you a full and speedy recovery. I also wanted to express my appreciation to you for having been a great cross-country coach. You're always intelligent and tactical and quietly intense, yet compassionate, and always had your students' interests at heart. And so I want to let you know how much I appreciated that as a runner and as a person. So thanks so much. I also wanted to express my eternal gratitude to you for an act that you performed during the 1977 county track championships immediately after I completed the leadoff leg of what turned out to be the county champion 4x400 relay team. You rushed down to me to tell me that I had run a 49.3 split, which was my best time in the 400. And that I'll always remember that because it's the time that I broke 50 seconds in the 400. And I would not have had that memory but for the fact that you came down to make sure that I was aware of that. So thanks so much, Mr. Groomes, for that and all of the memories, so all the hard work that you put us through for our own benefits. And thanks for being a great coach and a great man. I look forward to speaking with you soon. I wish you a full and speedy recovery, and I wish you the best. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, Warren. Just dropping a word, doing a little reminiscing out here on the water in my kayak, thinking about Springbrook days, great track and cross country teams and camaraderie and stuff. I think you and I probably didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things back then. But even during our worst, I always knew that you had the best intentions for me and all the students. Were doing your best to make us maximize our potential and have good lives. And I think you did a good job with a lot of people. So I don't think I've ever thanked you for that, but I do thank you, and I do appreciate your guidance. I'm just thinking that memories are the things that get us through the tough times. And I know you're having some tough times now, but I hope you have a lot of good memories to pull on. Stuff like this that you can pull out and make you feel better and enjoy as much of each day as you possibly can. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you soon on Zoom or something like that.
Hello, Mr. Groomes. This is Tom Inglesby from your Springbrook cross country teams from 72 to 74. I just wanted to say I've heard you're fighting. You're going to go through a fight, and I just wanted to remind you of one of the great life lessons you taught me, which was those triple hills that we used to have to run. We'd have to run 2 miles from Springbrook over to I don't know where, and then do 15 of these diabolical triple hills. And when I remember the triple hills, I remember Coach Groomes motivating me to run those triple hills as fast as I could. The motivation was sometimes voluntary and sometimes involuntary, but you always did motivate me, using a euphemism. Well, Coach Groomes, I appreciate that. I've remembered being in the middle of those triple hills, fighting to the top, which is something that served me well in all sorts of episodes of my life ever since Springbrook High School. And when you think of what you're going through, I think maybe you'll have a triple hill of your own, and I want you to. I hope that you can handle it and or face it as well as some of the students that you taught back in the day. God bless you, Coach. Be well, and get better soon. Thanks.
It was the fall of 1975, and this ragtag group of young distance runners, under the leadership of second-year coach Warren Groomes, would have one of Springbrook High School's most successful cross-country campaigns. At both the Montgomery County Championships and the Maryland State Championships, this team placed second, only behind Winston Churchill High School. This message is from Alan Mazurski, one of the team captains of the 1975 cross-country squad. My high school career in cross-country was notable for only one achievement. As a converted quarter-miler, I was probably the only team captain in school history who competed mostly in junior varsity races. In this photo, I'm the one on the right, running during practice with teammate Ross Eichberg. My participation in cross-country developed friendships that have lasted decades and helped foster a lifelong love affair with track and field and running that is a big part of me today. But this message is about you, Mr. Groomes. During the 2 years I was on the Springbrook cross-country team, you encouraged us to work hard, to train with mental toughness, so that we could achieve physically the goals we had set, even after our body is telling us to slow down. And now it is the time for us to encourage you. Your body may be giving you physical challenges now, but we encourage you to keep your spirits up and to use that mental toughness and to focus on positive energy during your treatment so that you can achieve the goals set by your doctors. I'm sure you have a loving support system helping you through this, but as someone who was positively influenced by your leadership over 45 years ago, I wish you the very best.
Hi, Mr. Groomes. It's Ross Eichberg, class of 1977. And I would be happy to share with you one of my favorite memories of you and me. And it occurred one night, or it began one night, after the cross-country team had completed the project of rolling Mike Fossbaugh's house with toilet paper. And after we had completed that project, we went to the 7-Eleven in Colesville to get some ice cream or just hang out. And about the same time, some tough guys from Paint Branch High School had showed up at the 7-Eleven, and they were looking for trouble. And they found Bill Yacht and me and basically chased us out of the 7-Eleven. I got in my car with Bill, started driving Bill back to his house. But the tough guys got into two cars, and they drove after us and cut off my car, forced me into a ditch, and the other car sandwiched me in from behind, so I couldn't get out. And then Paint Branch guys got out of the car and started pounding on the car window and door, and no doubt wanted to beat us up. Well, after what seemed like a long time, the guys left us, and Bill and I were able to back the car out of the ditch, and I drove Bill home. My parents were away for the weekend, and when I woke up the next morning, I thought to myself, man, what should I do?
And I wasn't that
crazy about telling my parents about this just yet, so I thought for a while who I should call, and I called you. I said, Mr. Groomes, what should I do? And you said, well, first of all, Ross, you should, of course, call your parents and tell them. And second, you should call the police, tell them exactly what happened. And I did both of those things.
And I'm very glad
I did. The story had a happy ending. The bad guys were punished. And
it certainly was a
memorable and worthy testimony to you to tell me to do the right thing. And it was sort of the cherry on top of a very enjoyable 3-year experience on the Springbrook Cross Country team, which I enjoyed tremendously.
best of luck to you, sir.
Hi, Mr. Groomes. It's Kathy Lumpkin Mantua. I want to let you know that I am praying for you, and I, too, share the same diagnosis with you. Feel free to message me anytime. But about cross country, my favorite memory was one day you were talking to the team about form and the girls' team, and you were talking about demonstrating everything. I was taking it all in so that I could improve. And at the end of it, you said, if anybody wants to see this form demonstrated, just watch Kathy Lumpkin run and you'll see it. So I was astonished and very surprised. And I just want to thank you, because that moment gave me such confidence, just to know somebody believed in me. And this coach that I thought was so great held the team together and made it such a great environment for all of us. Actually held me up as an example that day. And I really had never experienced anything like that in my life. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. and the opportunity to be on the team and meet such wonderful people and have that experience is one of the best of my life. So I will continue to pray for you. God bless you, Mr. Groom. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Hey, Warren. This morning I was out taking the dogs for a walk, and a bunch of kids went running by, and it was all I could do to stop myself from saying, "Quit bobbing your head up and down." So I guess I've learned something. I hope that you're doing well. I am, as the Quakers say, holding the thought for you. Thank you for all you've done, and keep on doing it. Bye.
Hey, Mr. Groomes or Coach Groomes. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of your old students and team members now through this video. It was interesting trying to track people down and employing others to track down some of your old team members and students, and some, as you saw, are not even in the United States anymore, or at least not now. And so in terms of me, I'm actually glad we got back in touch in the last few years, and hopefully we'll stay in touch for a long time. But in terms of best memories, it's funny when I start thinking about it that we first met when I had you for algebra at Paint Branch High School of all places, and never thought that I'd be seeing you and dealing with you all through Springbrook as well. And even after Springbrook, when during my college years, you probably don't remember, but as an engineering major, I had a lot of intense math, well beyond calculus, including things like linear algebra and abstract algebra and all sorts of differential equations and so on that you helped me with. And that's always been very appreciative by me. And as well as the cross country. And by the way, speaking of cross country, I guess since some others confessed as well, I was part of those toilet papering, rolling your house parties as well. And in fact, given the recent events with the COVID pandemic and the shortage of toilet paper, I guess that's kind of would be sacrilege if we did that nowadays with the toilet paper. And we went through a lot of toilet paper on your house. I hope you're doing better and dealing with the treatments well, and hope to actually see you sometime soon, and when we start traveling again, and I'll come down to Florida and see you and Mrs. Groomes then. Take care and good luck.